Oh, and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and Arsenal, and they make 3 changes to the side beaten by the Gunners before the break, with Oliver Burney, Max Lowe and Oliver Norwood coming into the team, while record signing Ryan Brewster is on the bench. Coincidentally, Fulham have also fallen victim to Arsenal, Leeds, Villa and Wolves, and hand debuts to Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tosin Adarabioyo, while Ademola Lookman makes his first start for Scott Parker's side. The bottom two in the Premier League meet at 12 as Sheffield United host Fulham. After finishing 9th last term, life has been tougher for the Blades with defeats to Wolves, Villa, Leeds and... We'll leave that just about there then. Welcome along to Independent Off-Tube studio commentary of the Premier League clash between Sheffield United and Fulham. Both sides without a point so far this season from their 4 games. And coincidentally, they've played the same teams as well. Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds and Arsenal. We are just about underway. Long clearance by Alphonse Areola in the Fulham goal up towards Alexander Mitrovic. Seconds are picked up by debutant Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'll just run you through the sides when I get a second. But Fulham on the attack. Tom Kearney, Saman Guisa, Adarabioyo, another of those debutants. Him and Loftus-Cheek's deadline day signings, of course, earlier this month. Tim Ream, we almost had that clearance intercepted by John Lundstrom. In the end, it's nodded back to goalkeeper Areola. Safety first for Fulham. The teams then, well, Sheffield United, their traditional, I suppose, 3-5-2 formation. 3 changes. Max Lowe, Oliver Norwood and Oliver Burney come into the side. They've got Ramsdale in goal. Back 3 of Chris Basham, John Egan and it looks like Max Lowe will play. In fact, no, Ender Stevens line up on the left side of the back three. George Baldock and Max Lowe, then the wing backs, John Lundstrom, Sander Berger and Oliver Norwood in midfield. Oliver Burney and David McGoldrick up front for Fulham. 4-2-3-1. Alphonse Areola in goal. Tosin Adarabioyo makes his debut at the heart of the defence alongside Tim Ream, Ola Aina and Anthony Robinson, the right and left fullbacks. Tom Kearney and Andre Zambo Anguissa will hold the midfield, with Ruben Loftus-Cheek pushing on in support of Alexander Mitrovic, Ivan Cavallero and Adamola Lookman, who's making his first start, playing from wide. Bit of a stop-start to the game. We're going to have a bit of a delay here because Max Lowe's taken a knock. I think he may have been caught in the head. That's what he seems to be suggesting. Chris Wilder and his assistant Alan Nill look on intently. Just seeing it again. He just clashes heads with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Not a lot either could do, really. Miscontrolled by Loftus-Cheek, who's on loan from Chelsea, of course. Played in the early weeks for the Blues, but Ron Lampard obviously thinks he's got other options. There's a chance for Loftus-Cheek to play some regular football in the Premier League. Of course, he's had terrible injuries throughout his career, but a fine playmaker when he does get a run in the side. Lowe is receiving treatment from the physio. Just looking at the options on the bench, they would have them if he did have to make an early change at Sheffield United. Both Ben Osborne, one of those to drop out, and Jack Robinson are on the sidelines for the Blades, as is record signing Rhian Brewster. Just getting a few shots of him now on our TV Pitches Independent Off-Tube studio commentary. The young man joining from Liverpool after a fine second half of the season on loan at Swansea last term. A lot's expected of him, a lot's been talked about over the years. One of these players who's seen as a bit of a prodigy, and for what I've seen of him, he looks a real player. But we'll have to wait with Chris Wilder choosing to start him from the bench. Max Lowe's back up on his feet, and maybe a bit of blood on his bottom lip, but I think he's going to be alright. Chris Wilder seems quite happy with things. We'll have a drop ball. Andre Mariner, our referee for this afternoon's game, drops it to Zambo Anguissa. He'll go back to Adarabioyo. Max Lowe back on the field. Adarabioyo goes long, looking to play the channels. Draws out Aaron Ramsdale, but the ball's too strong for everybody. Ramsdale happily let it roll out. Dressed all in purple today, the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Summer signing from Bournemouth. Had an excellent season really for the Cherries, despite their relegation. And I think he was one of those that a number of clubs were looking at after the Bournemouth were relegated. Got his move to Sheffield United, had spent time in the academy before that, so knows the club well. Long ball forward by Anthony Robinson. Fulham signing, linked with AC Milan, wasn't he, in January, but I think he failed a medical. But passed the checks for Fulham. In the side ahead of Joe Bryan at the moment, the playoff hero, and here he has got a throw in on the far side. Still goalless if Yard is joining us. 4.5 minutes gone. Back now to Areola on loan from PSG. Sweeps the ball out. Ooh, that's a risky ball there. Olaina, not the best first touch. Intercepted by Lundstrom. Fulham get it back, but they're playing with playing with confidence, shall we say. They're coming forward now. Adamola Lookman over the halfway line. Slides the ball looking towards Kearney. He was cut out. Now Sander Berger will try and take control in midfield. John Egan steps out of the defence. Back to Chris Basham. Back to Ramsdale. Bit of a harum-scarum start. Ramsdale tries to clear long. Doesn't make the halfway line. Headed by Robinson. Anguissa. Then Adarabioyo just swings his left foot at it more than anything. Then Kearney plays a ball that's made into a decent one by Ola Aina, because it was a poor ball. It was almost going out. The Nigerian international, though, picked up the pieces and collected well. Fulham are enjoying the possession. I wouldn't say it's controlled possession at the moment. I think Sheffield United happy to let them play. Aina now on loan from Torino. Inside to Cavallero. Now Kearney has the ball. Switch of player looking for Robinson on the far side. He makes it, keeps in as well. goes inside Baldock into the feet of Cavallero. Dropped into Mitrovic. Mitrovic turns, but he's well marshalled there by Chris Basham. And a throw into Fulham taken quickly. Lookman's cut it inside. It comes to Loftus-Cheek. Kearney shooting opportunity. Passes it up. Goes into Cavallero. Left edge of the box. Back to Kearney now. He goes for a goal. Decent effort. And a save by Ramsdale. Dive into his left-hand side. Good save by the former England under-21 man. It was a decent effort by Kearney. Not much backlift. Had to dig out the effort. Passed up the first opportunity. Decided to go for goal second time round. Curling away from the goalkeeper. Made a decent save down to his left-hand side. First effort of the goal. First effort on goal of the game, rather. Saved well by Ramsdale. Two-handed. And the first corner kick as well. To be taken by Kearney on the near side as we look at our TV pictures. So an in-swinger with his left foot. Tries to put it under the crossbar. It's met by Dave McGoldrick, who was back there. Now Lookman on the edge of the box. Takes on one, takes on two, gets into the box. Interception well played by Lundstrom. And Lundstrom now will clear long up towards the halfway line. And Sheffield United can clear the lines, move up. But that was a good save by Ramsdale. The first bit of action we've seen. Like I say, Fulham have dominated possession so far. It's not been perfect by any means, but that's the first effort of goal. They took the time, were very, very patient. It's a good save by Ramsdale. Ola Aina down the line, looking for Mitrovic. It's going to be interesting how the back three of Sheffield United cope with the lone striker, I suppose. There's going to be a spare man, spare two men most of the game. Will they look to use that, or will they just tinker with their shape? Chris Wilder, though, is a big fan of this 3-5-2. Used it all the time. He's been at Bramall Lane. I think he'll want his team to play their game and trying to force the mistake from Fulham. Zambo Anguissa on loan at Villarreal last season. He has possession in the middle of the park. He's giving it away. It's Ollie McBurney back to Baldock. Now Chris Basham on the halfway line into Ollie Norwood. One of those to come back into the side today. Baldock's wide on the right hand side. Thinks about going long. Instead goes to Chris Basham. Sheffield United maybe just trying to settle themselves into the game here. Haven't been second best so far. Enda Stevens left of the back three this afternoon with Lowe pushing on. John Egan now switched to play, looking for Oliver McBurney. It's too strong though from the Scotland international, but Sheffield United come up with the ball. McBurney can turn. He'll give it back to Norwood. He'll sweep it across. Lundstrom found space. It was a decent effort. Areola just palmed it over the crossbar. It was an awkward one for the goalkeeper. I think it may have been sneaking in. That was a nice effort from John Lundstrom. Seems to have got his place back in the side. And a player you've got to like Lundstrom. Didn't play much in the Championship, but really took to life in the Premier League. And has been excellent for the Blades. Save then by Areola. Both goalkeepers having made a save. I think both of them will have expected to have made them, but still nonetheless will have to make them. Norwood into the box, headed away by Zambo Anguissa. Clearance completed by Cavallero, picked up on the halfway line by Max Lowe. Angles a pass out, a good one as well to Norwood. McGoldrick into Enda Stevens, left-footed ball into low one. They came off a Fulham player last, potentially Tim Ream. It was towards Oliver McBurney, who was at the near post. I don't think neither him or Ream knew too much about it. And, well, it will be a second corner kick in quick succession. Seeing it again, Enda Stevens fires it across. In fact, it's good defending by Ream. Gets the right side of McBurney out for that corner. Taking short, Lundstrom back to Lowe. Spread across to Berger. That's not a good ball by Lowe. And it's intercepted by Zambo Anguissa, but he's given the ball away. And there's a bit of space on the right-hand side for a Sheffield United ball in. It's McBurney, it's a header, and it's wide off the near post. Glancing header by the Scotland international. It was a half chance, but a good half chance. Good play on the right-hand side. Ball in. Baldock it was. Got down the line, got round his man. Decent ball in between the two Fulham defenders. McBurney had found a bit of space, and he headed towards goal. Not a bad effort, 2-3 yards wide in the end. But maybe Sheffield United, after a quiet start, coming into the game now. Goal kick then. Areola to take it. Long clearance by the man alone from PSG. Up towards Cavallero. He controls. Got a man wide. That man is Anthony Robertson. He'll come inside. Not the best ball though to Lookman. Lookman had 2 or 3 men round in there. Now he's going to try and hunt down possession. Having lost the ball, Ramsdale will clear long, safety first. Adarabioyo's got space. Classy operator at the heart of the defence. Another one who's having a lot's been spoken about. Everyone knows he's got real potential. Is whether he's going to get games at Manchester City. Had a couple of good loan spells, especially at West Brom, Blackburn as well. Now get his chance in the Premier League in an area that's been a tough one really for Fulham, hasn't it? They struggled last time they were in the Premier League in defence. And Adarabioyo maybe the man who's going to calm things down at the back. Joachim Andersen, of course, came in on loan from Lyon on deadline day. So Scott Parker does have options. Michael Hector's at the club as well. Dennis Adoy. So plenty of bodies back there. Just needs to find that combination. Here is Oliver McBurney dropping off. Finds Max Lowe. Shaking off that earlier knock. Drills a low cross in, but doesn't beat Adarabioyo. And now Tom Cairney can come away with the ball. Cuts back and finds Tim Ream, the American international. Robinson. Lookman can turn. Good sliding tackle by Norwood. It's good enough for Andre Mariner anyway. And Sheffield United can counter. Down the right hand side. It's balled up with a bit of space. Inside. Ream's clearance isn't the best. And the seconds come back. I think it was Lundstrom again. No, it's Chris Basham coming up from defence. His effort was dragged wide. But again, it wasn't the most convincing defending by Fulham. Driving play. In fact, it was Sander Berger down the right hand side. Ream's clearance wasn't the best. It was an awkward one for the American, but he played it straight to Basham, who'd broken from the defence and trying to guide it into the bottom corner. Couldn't find the target, but Sheffield United certainly coming into this game. It's been a decent start, I have to say. Early stages of the game at Bramall Lane, and it's been a decent game so far. Fulham dominated the early possession and had a nice effort by Tom Cairney, well saved by Aaron Ramsdale. The effort coming from the edge of the box, and Ramsdale diving to his left-hand side, palming out for a corner kick. Since then, Sheffield United have come into proceedings. John Lundstrom forced a save from Alphonse Areola from the edge of the box, and then McBurney had a glancing header that was just wide of the post. The best chance, though, probably went to Chris Basham. Nice play by Sander Berger down the right-hand side. Basham breaking from the fence. However, his effort was dragged wide. Decent game so far. It remains 0-0. Yes. Scott Parker looking on. First full season in charge in the Premier League. He came in late in the day, didn't he, for the last time they were in the top flight, Fulham. And questions were asked about his style of football, all those kind of things. As they're always in and around the promotion sports, but never quite convinced in the Championship. But they got the job done. That's all that matters. And now he's got his shot. 40 years old, so relatively young for a Premier League manager. And we'll give it a good go. We all remember how good a footballer he was as a player. I think characterised for maybe being a hard-working player, but very skillful as well. Played at Chelsea, Newcastle and West Ham, where he was Footballer of the Year in the year they went down in 2011. So that shows his pedigree. Played at England, played for England at Euro 2012 as well, didn't he? So obviously a fine player. And I think a number of Fulham fans, of course he played for as well, wouldn't mind having him out on the field. He still looks in pretty good shape. He probably do a decent job as well. Fulham just trying to settle themselves back down again, passing out from the back, but again, never really convinces, I have to say. But they've done well here. Down the left is Lookman. He'll cut inside. He's got a man to his right. It's Loftus-Cheek. Decent effort. However, comfortable save. Good goalkeeping by Aaron Ramsdale. It was a low, driven effort by Loftus-Cheek. The goalkeeper just falling on the ball, getting his body behind it, and saved by Ramsdale. Those two know each other from under 21 action, you'd think. Ramsdale bowls it out and hammers it clear up at field. And it's again a bit of pinball in the middle of the park. Lookman, who's looked bright so far, on loan from Leipzig, finds Loftus-Cheek in space. Now Caviera on the right-hand side, cuts inside, sold the dummy to Lowe. Lowe bought it, but didn't really get anywhere there. Caviera wanted to take his man on again. Kearney, now Caviera again. Kearney, 30 yards out. He's going to have to be quick here because Dave McGoldrick's on him. He was into Luckman. Luckman's little flick. Oh, it's everywhere. Kearney was on the floor and he played it. Was there a foul? That was a good sliding challenge between Loftus-Cheek and Norwood. I think it's a foul actually by Loftus-Cheek, but neither were pulling out. Norwood won the ball. Andre Marino had seen enough and wanted to give the free kick. I think it's one of those where they both slid in and kind of played it at the same time, but it will be a free kick to Sheffield United. 0-0 if you are joining us. It's Independent Off-Tube studio commentary. Free kick round about 40 yards from Sheffield United's own goal, and Max Lowe's down again. I don't know if it's a repeat of the same issue he had earlier in the game. He seemed to take a knock to his head. It's something fresher, but he doesn't look too comfortable at the moment, and there's adequate concern from the medical staff. As I said, Ben Osborne and Jack Robinson, both men who could come on and fill in on the left-hand side should it be needed, but Chris Wilder will not be wanting to make a change so early into the game. Lowe helped to his feet, and we're just seeing, I think the suggestion is it is related to that earlier blow with Loftus-Cheek. Both went into each other, not a lot he could do, Loftus-Cheek. They collided and Lowe came off second best, and he looks not exactly comfortable, I'd say. He looks like he might need a rest. I think probably best for the team. A touch of concussion potentially. Chris Wilder shakes his hand, and the physios will take him. Who comes on? Former Nottingham Forest man, came through the ranks at Liverpool as well. Then he can play either as the left wing back or the left centre back. He did quite a lot towards the end of last season, the 27-year-old. We'll see if you have a reshuffle or stick with Ender Stevens as the left side of that three. So first change of the game. Disappointment for Max Lowe. Jack Robinson will try and get into things as soon as he can. Long clearance by Ramsdale, nodded down by McBurney. It was a good nod as well. David McGoldrick though couldn't read it, had gone in behind rather than square. It was cleared by Adara Bayo up towards Caballero. He can't keep it in though, and it'll be a throw-in deep in Sheffield United territory. And Robinson's first task, in fact, will be to take the throw-in. Looks like he will be the left of the three by the way he's lining up. Down the line, looking towards McBurney. It's won by Ola Aina. Now Loftus-Cheek trying to play in Caviera. Caviera's got there as well. This is a chance for Fulham. Not the best ball to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek does well though, rescues it. Zaman Guisa goes for the shot. It's well blocked by Oliver Norwood, and then it's brought away by Sander Berger. But that was nice play by Fulham, and they've got it back. It's Tom Kearney, far side, finds Luckman. Luckman's got Anguissa inside. They go back to Tim Ream, and now Tosin Adarabayo. Olaina down the line to Loftus-Cheek, and Fulham had the momentum but decided just to calm things down and move it back. Goalkeeper Alphonse Areola plays it out to Zambo Anguissa, who's all the way back there, and they're playing right across the 18-yard line. They've gone from one end to the other here, Fulham, and not in a good way. They're in a good attacking position, and eventually Areola has to knock it long. But they do come up with the ball. Anguissa, central position, wide to Ola Aina. He'll bring it on his left foot. Wonderfully two-footed player. Across the halfway line into Ivan Caviero. Tom Kearney's a spare man in the middle of the park. Helps it on under pressure from Dave McGoldrick. And now Ream can break clear. Anthony Robertson. Luckman. Right-footed ball into Loftus-Cheek. Great little touch by Loftus-Cheek back to a teammate. Anguissa it was, but his ball was a poor one. And John Lundstrom's got the energy to get away from him. Then he's fouled by Anguissa, potentially for a yellow card. Sheffield United get on with it quickly, but Andre Marino's going to bring it back. Yellow card then to Anguissa, the first of the game. It was a lovely bit of play by by Loftus-Cheek. Anguissa just tried to knock it back to him. It's well intercepted by John Lundstrom. Lundstrom got away from him, and the former Marseille man, I think we'll call it taking one for the team there, brought the man down, and a free kick to Sheffield United, round about 35 yards from the Fulham goal. Central position, unlikely to shoot here. Oliver Norwood just dinks it over the top. There's a runner in there, but so's Ola Aina. Good sharp defending by the man on loan from Torino. Nods it back to Alphonse Areola. It looked like Sheffield United were going to get round the back of the Fulham offside trap, but got away with it there, the Cottagers. Now again trying to play out from the back. Anguissa back to the goalkeeper. He just floats the ball towards Aina, the right back. He brings it down, so smooth on the ball. Now Tom Kearney opens up, gives it to Anguissa. He's got Ream in space, has Kearney, and again Fulham playing out from the back. Ream over the halfway line, wants an option, finds one in Adamola Lookman. Anthony Robertson's making a run down the left hand side. Lookman, little Cruyff turn, gets away from his man now, comes inside into the feet of Mitrovic. He's been quiet so far. John Egan does well, gets the ball away. Sander Berger, Norwood onto McBurney. Space now for Lundstrom if he can get it away. Yes, he can. Ender Stevens breaking down the left hand side, gets into the box, shoots for goal. Saved though by Areola down to his left hand side. Decent save in the end by the goalkeeper. Decent effort as well from Ender Stevens, but that was good by Sheffield United, breaking with pace. Lundstrom helping it on to Ender Stevens, who shot across goal, did everything you taught to do. Goalkeeper getting two hands to it, and solid save there by Areola. Still goalless. Independent Off Tube studio commentary. If you are just joining us on a busy day of action, of course, in the Championship we're also covering the game between Preston and Cardiff, 0-0 at the moment. There's three more Premier League games to come, shall I say. One of them being Palace against Brighton at 2 o'clock. West Ham are also in action today, 4:30 away at Tottenham. And the late game, well, features Leicester, who always seem to play in the late game. 7:15, Leicester against Aston Villa. Berger helps it wide to Baldock. Baldock just inside the opposition half. His pass is too strong. It'll be Robinson to take the throw-in for Fulham. Again, they take it short, determined to play out from the back. However, you do worry that, although they've looked good doing it actually so far in this game, there is a worry that they might play their way into trouble, Fulham, at times, and Sheffield United happy to bide the time and wait for the mistake, I suppose. Again, a free kick comes up Sheffield United's way, taken by Oliver Norwood to Jack Robertson. 1-2 between Robinson and Stevens. Sheffield United going backwards. Egan steps out of the defence. Chris Basham to his right hand side, ever present, those two, aren't they, really? No Jack O'Connell though this season, serious knee injury for him. Looks like he's going to rule him out for the campaign, so Chris Wilder will need to find a long term solution for O'Connell's absence. He was fantastic last season, wasn't he? O'Connell, lovely left foot, great delivery, great defender as well, so a big miss for Sheffield United, who have struggled after finishing 9th last season. No points from their opening 4 games. The same can be said of Fulham, freshly promoted for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. And coming forward here is Mitrovic on the left hand side, plays it behind Tom Kearney. It was a poor ball, and Kearney's demeanour there suggests that he knew it as well. There's a Fulham player down. Sheffield United coming forward though. David McGoldrick on the near side as we look at it, or I look at it on our TV pictures. He wants to know, should I put it out, because the player's still down for Fulham. Fulham themselves had the chance to put it out, but chose not to. It's Lookman who's the man who's he's just touching his right shin, suggesting maybe he got a kick. And well, he's got, yeah, just touching his right shin, a bit of mud on his yellow sock as well. Just having a look again. It's a ball where, ooh, well, that might be one for VAR there, because Oliver Norwood is one of those where he tackles the ball, but as he comes through, he studs her up because he's played the ball and he's caught Adamola Lookman as well. Lookman doesn't have the biggest shin pads on, it has to be said, for old school players like me, but at the same time, And you do wonder if they might have to check that one because of the follow-through, really. Looks like it's all's well, though, between Chris Wilder and Scott Parker, though. And Lookman himself is up and about, ready to play. The game continues to be played at a decent pace between Sheffield United and Fulham. Yet to get that breakthrough, though. Remains at 0-0. Sheffield United have been the better side. Fulham have enjoyed the better possession. It's not always been controlled possession. It's not created too many chances. Still Tom Kearney's effort from the edge of the box, which was saved by Aaron Ramsdale, the highlight for them so far. More chances for Sheffield United. Arguably the best of the chances they've created came from Ender Stevens moments ago. Great play by John Lundstrom in the middle of the park. Just helped it on with his left foot. And there was Stevens, who's had to go to left wing back from left centre half. Jack Robinson came on for Max Lowe, picked up what looked like a concussion. Stevens down the left hand side, shooting across Areola. Decent save by the Frenchman. Still 0-0. As again, Fulham play out from the back. Caballero lost his cheek. I'd like to see Lookman. He seems to be moving quite well on the far side as they move the ball about on the near side of our TV pitches. It's independent off to studio commentary, of course. Tim Ream now, left-footed centre half. Brings it out, goes back. Adarabayo. On to Ola Anya. He'll knock it back to his teammate Adarabayo. On debut is Adarabayo. He's looked pretty good so far, as mentioned before. He's had a few loan spells and not really highly thought of at Manchester City, but there were doubts as to whether he was going to get a regular shot in the team. So moving on, probably the best option for both parties. I think he'll get plenty of game time as well if he performs at Fulham, because they do struggle at the back. As Fulham again come forward. Caballero. It's funny when we say they struggle at the back, they've got good attackers, haven't they? Mitrovic, you fancy him to get 15 goals, say, a season. Caballero's play for Portugal. Lookman, I think, is a really underrated player, so they get the best out of him. Give him regular games, he could be special. But it's Sheffield United on the attack. Bulldogs ball in. It's McBurney. It's a save by Areola, and it really should be 1-0. It was a good save by Areola, but he was only 6 yards out there, McBurney, and his header is not the most powerful. He had time. I think maybe just a case of potentially jumping too early. Let's not take anything away, though, from the goalkeeper. It was a good save, had to be there, make the stop, and so he did. It looked like it was going to be 1-0 for all the world there, but a good save by Areola keeps the score 0-0. But Sheffield United certainly the better of the two teams as this first half goes on. 29 and a bit minutes on the clock. John Lundstrom has it. Now David McGoldrick. Into Ender Stevens. Jack Robinson now. John Egan. Jack Robinson. McGoldrick becoming more involved is the Irishman. Now Stevens into John Egan. And back across the line to Basham, but Sheffield United definitely dominating the possession now. Norwood fed into Egan. Norwood, good ball, just turned it round the corner. Sander Berger, he can break forward. The Norwegian goes for a goal, saved by Areola, who's looked really secure in between the sticks so far for Fulham. Going to his right hand side, and he just tells everyone around him just to calm down. Maybe wants to take the sting out of the game so far. I have to say, neither Kenny nor Zambo Anguissa or anywhere near Berger there. They do seem to be getting overrun in midfield at the moment to Fulham. Of course, they had that extra man in there, don't they? Sheffield United, the way they play with this 3-5-2 formation. And Scott Parker, that might be something he looks at if he is to tweak his shape. Darabayo sweeps it wide to Ola Aina. Over the halfway line he goes, the youngster. Stops, thinks better of going forward. Mitrovic hasn't offered too much movement so far in this game. And, Fulham are struggling at the moment in terms of converting possession into chances. Tom Kearney Again, just passing around in their own half at the moment are the Cottagers. And struggling. It's hard to see a pattern of play as far as creating opportunities goes. Aina down the right hand side, just floats the ball looking for even Caballero. Caballero battles with Ender Stevens, comes up with it as well, the Portuguese. Inside ball to Zambo and Guisa was again far too casual by the former Marseille man, gives it away. Well played by David McGoldrick, who read it all the way. Then Aina's attempted clearance is off the side of his boot, and eventually go for a throw in right down by the corner flag of Fulham. But I have to say again, Sambo Anguissa just can't seem to get into the pace of the game. It was a strange pass, far too casual, and gave what was good territory for Fulham. Gave it up, and Sheffield United have a throw in right by the corner flag, which Jack Robinson will take. Head down, long throw towards the near post. It bounces in the 6-yard line. Anthony Robinson with the header away for Fulham, but that was poor defending by the Cottagers, and not one that Scott Parker will want to see back. Oliver Norwood, wide to Baldock, over the head of Robinson. Berger has time, drills it near post, well read by Tim Ream, blocks away, and now Loftus-Cheek on the attack. They've got pace. Caballero on the right hand side. Loftus-Cheek carrying the ball ever so well. He's got Caballero. Mitrovic wants it back post, played in by Caballero, not a great ball, away by Chris Basham, well read by the former Bolton man, and it's just stretching out this game now into David McGoldrick. He can turn and find Robinson again. That wasn't the best ball. Him and Stevens almost got in each other's way. Stevens comes up with it. He's got a man wide on the left hand side. Lundstrom's helping him out. Inside is McGoldrick, but Lundstrom, was he offside? Yes, he was. Disappointing for Sheffield United there. Remains Preston 0, Cardiff 0 in the Championship offering. And as I mentioned, there's 3 other Premier League games: Crystal Palace v Brighton, Tottenham West Ham, and Leicester Aston Villa. Just seeing that save again. It's Chris Basham with the ball in. Good ball in as well. Finds McBurney, who, maybe just gets up half a second too early. It is a decent header, but it's straight at Areola. But by far the best chance of the game so far. And you feel that the Blades have got the bit between the teeth now. We'll be hoping to make that breakthrough before half time. Down the right hand side is Baldock. Shapes across 2 or 3 times. Fulham players are diving in. Berger creates half a yard. Trial thought about having a go with his left foot. Thought better of it. Basham's ball back in towards McGoldrick. Won by Adara Bayo. But McGoldrick comes up with a second. He's got an overlapping run. And it's a good run as well. Stevens across the 6-yard line. Oh, they were queuing up at the back stick. But none of the Sheffield United players could get there. A wry smile from Chris Wilder. Basham it was who had made the run untracked. Just seeing it again. Clever play by McGoldrick and Stevens. Stevens timed his run. Maybe a hint of offside. VAR would have dealt with that. But the ball in's a good one along the 6-yard line. And it's McBurney who gets the touch. And that just takes it away from Basham. Agonisingly close was Basham, the 32-year-old, sliding in. However, wasn't to be. Out for a goal kick. In fact, on reflection, they have now given the offside. But it was a good move. Such a clever player, isn't he? David McGoldrick bided his time and just rolled the ball towards Ender Stevens. And it was good ball in. Offside, though. Back in the Sheffield United half. McBurney goes back to John Lundstrom. Wraps his right foot around it. It's a good ball. There's a tangle on the halfway line. It's back to Areola. McBurney's not happy at all. Him and Adara Bayo, I think it was, who got in each other's way. The Scotland international, like I say, not too pleased with that incident. Fulham just trying to calm things down. Zambo Anguissa will find Kearney. Now Tim Ream, who just takes too much time, and that allows, well, he has to go back to the goalkeeper. He just has to rush his clearance, because that means McBurney's on his case. However, McBurney was offside as the second ball went forward. Now Darabayo can bring it away for Fulham. No real urgency from the back, though, for all the Cottagers, as we head into the final 10 minutes of the 45 in the first half. Given away by Tim Ream. Sander Berger skips past a couple of midfielders. And then was he fouled by Lookman? He thought so. Lookman didn't, and it's play on according to Andre Mariner. Loftus-Cheek looks classy every time he gets the ball, plays it back to Tom Kearney. Aina, Loftus-Cheek's continued his run, well read though by Jack Robinson, coming across, making the interception he needed to as well, because Loftus-Cheek would have been one-on-one with Ramsdale. It's got a real good feel about it now, this game. George Baldock on the right-hand side takes his time, didn't see any options going forward, so recycles. Norwood just sets the tone. Him and John Egan really set the tone for this side. They play out from the back. Egan skips past the defender and now finds Jack Robinson, who's got space on the left-hand side. Little ball to Stevens. Oliver Norwood again in the pocket. Back to Lundstrom. Egan's got time over the halfway line. Norwood, good possession this for Sheffield United. McGoldrick's dropped deep. And now he'll be found by Ender Stevens. Inside ball to Berger. This is a shooting chance. Decides to go wide instead to George Baldock. Baldock on the edge of the box. Overlapping is Chris Basham. It's back to Norwood. Thought about the shot. Lovely ball through. It's Berger. It's going to be 1-0. It's Adara Barrow. It looks like he scored an own goal on his debut. They might have a look for offside in the build-up, but it looks like Sheffield United have taken the lead. It was good build-up, and again, the inquest is going on already. Adara Barrow, before he put the ball into the box. Well, they are going to have a VAR for this. All eyes on Andre Mariner. Just seeing again, Norwood's ball is a good one. I think Sander Berger's offside. I have to say, Adara Barrow, before he put the ball in, he was already barking out orders. And yes, the goal has been disallowed. Offside against Berger. It could have been one of a number though. But that was a lovely play by Sheffield United. And it remains 0-0, but Fulham, they look poor there in defence. They're at 6s and 7s. Still goalless, but we almost had a breakthrough, and it would have gone to Sheffield United. Still goalless, like I say, between themselves and Fulham. But Tosin Adarabioyo has had the ball in the net on his debut. Unfortunately, though, it was in his own net, and he was not happy at all. Fulham are poor defensively, totally torn apart. Lovely play by both Oliver Norwood and Sander Berger. A cross ball by Norwood, by Berger rather. Adarabioyo puts through his own net. However, the offside flag had gone up. It was by accident rather than design from the Cottagers, who just seemed to, after a good start, falling back into the shell. They'd look at 6s and 7s really defensively, but it remains 0-0. As Fulham now have a free kick themselves, a chance to maybe just take the pressure off. And Caballero and Kearney look like they're going to take over the responsibilities. Caballero looks like he wants to take it. It will be right footer to a left footer, of course. It's about 35 yards out wide. It's Kearney who drills it towards the back post. And it was Mitrovic who was in there, couldn't quite control. John Egan had to make a decent interception, and he'll hammer upfield. That was an interesting ball by Kearney. Looked for all the world that Caballero was going to be the man to deliver. And, well, that would have been against the run of play, I think it's fair to say, if Fulham had scored there. Seeing it again, there's 3 or 4 offside actually for Sheffield United, but Adarabioyo rightly frustrated by just the lack of care really by his fellow defenders. That might be his job to sort them out at the back, even though he is a very, very young man, 23 years old. But yeah, they've got problems at the back, haven't they, Fulham? It's hardly a secret. And, well, maybe rode their look there. They do have the ball, though, now. It's Tom Kearney into Lookman. Bright start, but gone a bit quiet recently. Still on the ball, though. A couple of step-overs. Goes back to Anguissa. Now, Lookman finds Zambo Anguissa. Slide ball to Kearney. Thought about the shot, thought better of it. Found Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Bit tight at the moment. On the edge of the box, Fulham. But they've got a lot of red and white shirts in front of them. Anguissa needs to... he does well to ride a couple of challenges there. I thought he was going to take too much time. Eventually he's fouled. And this is a really good opportunity for Fulham. Free kick right on the edge of the box. And if you can picture it, if you're a right-footed player and you want to... it's where you probably start your free kick training. on a Monday afternoon. It's just to the left of centre, a real opportunity. Maybe a bit fortunate there actually. Zambo Anguissa. It was good skill though to get away from a couple of tackles. I'm just trying to see. I think maybe Chris Basham can feel hard done by there. Even so, it's a great opportunity. Alexander Mitrovic looks like he fancies it. He struggled to get into the game so far, the Serb. But breaking the deadlock wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? If your first real meaningful bit of impact on the game. Tom Kearney's there as well. Maybe doesn't quite suit his left foot though. And Mitrovic will be left to his own devices by the looks of it. Even Caballero is just walking over as well, so they do have options here. Even Caballero wants it played short, but maybe Mitrovic's got too much. It's played short. Mitrovic drives the effort. It was a 1-2 between himself and Kearney, just to make the angle a bit better. It was driven effort. Good save though by Ramsdale. Good, solid, competent goalkeeping. He's got his body behind the ball and fell on it. Made sure there was no chance of a mistake. And danger averted for the Blades. Ramsdale will cross, will clear upfield rather. Ream wins the first header. It's bouncing. It's David McGoldrick who tries to drill it back into a good area. Then Ream intercepts, then smashes it up into the air, and it only comes down on the edge of his own box. Fulham trying to play the way out. You've got to applaud their ambition about playing out from the back. Anthony Robinson's ball though is goes for a throw-in, which will be taken quickly by Sheffield United, and a chance for them themselves to play out from the back. McGoldrick, 30 yards from goal. He'll find Ender Stevens. Left wing back now, having started at left centre half. Jack Robinson had to come on for Max Lowe. Had a clash of heads with Ruben Loftus-Cheek and came off second best, unfortunately. Lowe, recent signing from Derby. So he'll be receiving treatment now. Norwood into Stevens. Got John Lundstrom on the left-hand side. McGoldrick drops deep. 2 minutes of the 45 left. I think we'll have a bit for stoppages as well. Those incidents with Lowe. There's been a couple of other efforts and incidents, such as the VAR, of course. McGoldrick into Lundstrom. It's behind the man, but Fulham have got a good shape, but it means they're not really pressing the ball as much. Norwood into Robinson. Back heel. Back to John Egan, the sweeper, the deepest man of all Sheffield United's outfield players. And he'll go back to the goalkeeper Ramsdale, put his head down and his foot through it. McBurney wins it ahead of Adarabayo. Seconds though by Ola Aina. Then John Egan, then Tim Ream chested out to Anthony Robinson. Robinson inside ball to Luckman. Basham wins it. Berger now has space on the right hand side. He drives forward, still going the Norwegian. He gets into the box. The ball's across, and it's across and over everyone. I think it was a deflection off of Luckman, who did well to track him back, and over everyone, out for a throw-in on the near side. Just seeing it again. Does well, yeah. David McGoldrick was unmarked at the back post. The defence totally switched off as far as marking goes, and the ball though deflected, too strong, up for a throw-in to Fulham on the near side. Sander Berger seems to have been settled into the Premier League now. Always tough to join in January. And a couple of good games, but couldn't quite find that consistency. But looks a regular now for Chris Wilder's men. Tackled by Basham. Foul earlier in the piece though. Fulham have a free kick on the halfway line. Maybe one last chance for them to break the deadlock, but they're going to take it short. Zambo Anguissa has Ruben Loftus-Cheek just to his right hand side. Ola Aina himself plays it inside. Adarabayo must be breathing a sigh of relief after that disallowed own goal. 3 minutes have been added on to this first half. It's still goalless. Independent of Chief Studio commentary. Sheffield United against Fulham in the Championship is also goalless between Preston and Cardiff, as Anthony Robinson down the left hand side has a look square ball into Kearney. Adamola Luckman, little back heel pass, looking to link up with Zambo Anguissa, but those little touches aren't quite coming off for Fulham. Of course, a number of these players haven't played too much together. Adarabayo, Loftus-Cheek making the debuts, Luckman making his first start, but just not quite there for Fulham, and those things will come as the season goes on, but at the moment it's not quite happening. As Ramsdale comes out to take this free kick, a minute of the 3 additional minutes has been played. Ramsdale, high clearance towards the edge of the box, flicked on by McBurney. McGoldrick's there as well. Could he get a shot away? Just wouldn't settle for him. Plays it back towards the penalty spot. Kenny comes back, clears his lines. Not so well though. Basham wins a header around about 30 yards from goal. Now Baldock, little inside ball's a good one. Berger gets past his man, then barges over Kenny. Is that going to be a corner kick or a free kick to Fulham? It's a free kick to Fulham. The Norwegian Berger is adjudged to have fouled the Fulham captain. It's a good experienced player really by Kenny. He's got his body across. Berger arm out, barged him over. Free kick and a chance for Fulham to just try and take a few seconds out of the game. Chris Wilder deep in discussion with one of his assistants. I think he'll be pleased with the way his side have played so far. They were quiet early on. Fulham had all the early possession really. Sheffield United have been the dominant team, the best chances, but still to find that goal. Goals are a bit of an issue, aren't they, at the moment for the Blades. However, the clean sheet that they've got at the moment is a bit of a bonus as well. Reminder, these two, the bottom 2 in the Premier League at the start of play. Neither has picked up a point. As Fulham go long looking for Cavallero, bounces through to goalkeeper Ramsdale, and he'll just trundle around his box, I would say. No real rush for the England under-21 man. Has a look up. Oliver McBurney will be the target, you have to think. Long clearance towards McBurney. McBurney wins the header. He's won everything today, McBurney. He actually can get some bodies around him. Could have some joy. Ream with a clearance over his head. And as I say that, referee Andre Mariner blows his whistle. Half time, Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Join us shortly for the second half. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside, and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far, it remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not been without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far. It remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far. It remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far. It remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far. It remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early save from Aaron Ramsdale. However, the Blades then took over. Ollie McBurney really should have opened the scoring with a header from close range. A good save by Alphonse Areola. Chris Basham also drove wide. Sheffield United have had the ball in the net. Tosin Adarabioyo on his debut put him through his own goal. However, Sheffield United players were offside and it was ruled out by VAR. Decent game so far. It remains goalless. Half time in the game at Bramall Lane, and it remains Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. However, it's not without chances. Tom Kearney forcing a good early. We'll leave that there then. Welcome back to second half coverage of the clash between Sheffield United and Fulham. 0-0 at the break, as mentioned in the clip. United were the their way. Happy to try and play out from the back. Given away though. Norwood will open the play up. Have a look towards Lundstrom. Sheffield United almost caught. We should go back to John Egan. The team's in full then. Ramsdale in goal for Sheffield United. A back three of Basham, Egan and Jack Robinson. He replaced Max Lowe in the first half. Let's break off. Sheffield United coming forward. It's Baldock on the right hand side. Again a header by McBurney, but again a comfortable save for Areola. It was a standing start really for the Scotland international. Again, Sheffield United would have been way offside. Maybe we should give some Fulham more credit because they were asking for the flag and they would have got it. So yes, Robinson came on for Max Lowe. So Enda Stevens now the left wing back. George Baldock on the other side. Midfield three of Lundstrom, Berger and Norwood, who dominated the middle of the park in the first half. Oliver McBurney and Dave McGoldrick up front for Fulham. Areola's the goalkeeper. Back four of Ola Aina, Tosin Adarabioyo, Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson. Tom Kearney and Andre Zamba-Anguissa in the middle of the park. And Zamba-Anguissa is on a yellow card after a foul on Lundstrom. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he looked good in the first half. He's the number 10. Adamo Luckman's on the left hand side, Ivan Caballero on the right hand side, and Alexander Mitrovic is the centre forward. Again, Fulham a bit sloppy in possession. had a chance to break or build something in the Sheffield United half, however, easily dealt with poor play, and it broke down. So that McBurney header, just seconds into the first half, got things off to a good start, I suppose, for Sheffield United, who, like I say, were the better team in the first half. Fulham started well, they enjoyed plenty of possession, not exactly controlled possession, but seemed to always come up with the ball. Second balls were all theirs, who were knocking it about with a bit of confidence, but they were second best for most of that first half. Adarabioyo will just clear up and clear his lines, and a throw in to Sheffield United, wide on the left hand side as they attack. They're going from left to right as we look at it on TV pictures. It's independent of Chief Studio commentary, and Enda Stevens will find Jack Robinson. He will wind up for another of these long throw-ins. The former Liverpool man, head down, and what a delivery it is towards the near post, but no one's challenging, and Areolas comes out of his box, out of his goal rather, and clears long, looking for a quick breakaway with Caballero. Can't find the Portuguese, which is a good territory gain though for Fulham, and they'll take that, I feel, as Sheffield United respond. McBurney's got the wrong side of Ola Aina. McBurney goes inside and wrestled to the ground just on the edge of the box. The young defender can complain all he likes, but Fulham just seem to switch off there. And a free kick to the Blades on the far side, just on the edge of the box. Yeah, he just puts his arm across him. Zaina. McBurney may be happy to take the contact, but it's in a good position this for Sheffield United. Chipped ball into the box is what you expect, and McBurney will be one of the main targets, although the way Oliver Norwood's lining up, doing so with plenty of purpose, and you feel he might have a go at goal himself here. Surveying his options, probably only around about 8 yards out from the byline, so it's a tough angle to create too much. It might be a case of put it in with a bit of venom across the face of the goal and see if anything comes of it. Andre Mariner blows his whistle, and Norwood towards the back post. It's a header, but it's a Fulham header. Samuel Guisa read it well. Berger picks up the seconds, feeds it wide to Jack Robinson, and Guisa does well to win the second tackle, but Baldock picks up the ball. Now Stevens. Lundstrom wide to McGoldrick. Always finds nice pockets of space, doesn't he, McGoldrick? He found another one there. Norwood, 30 yards from Fulham's goal, central position, fires it into Jack Robinson, who tries to work it onto his left foot, but interception by Adarabioyo, and Kearney brings it away. Anthony Robinson into Ademola Lookman. They've got bodies here, have Fulham if they can find a bit of space. Kearney now, he's got Mitrovic who'll pick it up. Loftus-Cheek wide to Ivan Caballero, bodies in the box. Mitrovic towards the back post. It's spilled by Ramsdale. The seconds come to Lookman. Ramsdale, magnificent save. I think there's claims this might be one they have a look at, actually. Just having a look, Andre Mariner's speaking into his microphone. I thought that Ramsdale had saved the follow-up from Lookman's second effort, but he's gone to ground, has Lookman. And we'll just have a second glance at this. It was a great ball in by Caballero from the right-hand side looking for Mitrovic. Ramsdale looked like he was going to take it. However, he spilled the ball. Just seeing it again. He comes out comfortable. No, he spills it. Lookman goes for goal. It's a great save by Ramsdale. And in fact, it's just a case of he dives and Lookman goes for goal with his left foot. And as his momentum carries him on, he just steps on Ramsdale and comes off second best. Looks like his left ankle might be the problem. A right smile there from Ramsdale, a relieved smile from the 22-year-old goalkeeper. Looking at the bench potential options for Fulham, should they have to make the change. Bobby Reid is the one that stands out. They've also got Neeskens Cabana as well, and Abubakar Kamara, so plenty of bodies, or plenty of potential bodies who could come on. Cardiff have taken the lead away at Preston North End. For those who follow the Championship, Shea Ojo with the goal. As we've seen a replay of the earlier free kick for Sheffield United. Are they suggesting there might have been a bit of pushing and shoving? I'm not entirely sure. Looks like we're going to get a play on the left, so nothing to worry about. And it looks like Ademola Lookman's back on form and running quite well there as the camera focuses on him. Played well in the first half, looks bright. One of those players who's got oodles of talent, but you just want him to get a run of games, don't you? He's had a few injury problems, but mainly he just seems to be almost seen as an impact sub. Was at Everton, then at RB Leipzig, and if he gets a run of games, he could be a big player, you feel, for Fulham this season, still to pick up a point on their return to the Premier League. Sheffield United also in the same situation as Jack Robinson. Long throw in again, it's too easy for Areola. They need to have runners running towards the ball rather than going straight into his hands. Great ball out by the Frenchman. Lookman now breaks down the left hand side. He's got Robinson supporting him. Lookman rides a couple of the challenges, puts the ball in towards Mitrovic, headed away by Robinson. Basham though has to complete the clearance. In fact, it was Mitrovic who got the last touch and it rolled through to Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. But that just shows the pace that this Fulham team have got. However, I have to say, Mitrovic is cutting a quite frustrated figure. They've struggled to get him into the game. The way they're playing isn't really suiting him. There's no real balls into the box. Lookman tried to find him there, but it was an easy one in the end by Ender Stevens, he was, rather than Robinson getting back. McBurney picks up the seconds around about 30 yards from Fulham's goal. It's Baldock. He's got Basham making a foray forward. Sander Berger. Now Norwood. 1-2 between McGoldrick. Norwood, right-footed ball in, couldn't beat the first man, and again there's potential for a counter-attack here. Lookman, Loftus-Cheek and Mitrovic. Mitrovic wants it, Lookman's ball's behind him, it just about makes it through to him. Zambo Anguissa will play on, little step over, makes it into the box, cuts it across the 6-yard line, no Fulham shirts there at all. Lookman and Loftus-Cheek, I think it was, they were hoping for the cut back towards the penalty spot, but no, it was, they were on the heels. And it was nice play by Zambo Anguissa, who had a mixed first half. His distribution wasn't the best. He picked up that yellow card as well, but he did really well there. Nice skill to go outside his man, cut it back along the 6-yard line. He just wanted someone to be charging in, but it wasn't to be for Fulham. Corner kick though, to be taken by Ivan Caballero. Looks like Kamara might be the man warming up at the moment. Caballero towards the near post. It's a header by Adara Bayo, and there's all eyes on Andre Mariner, and he's given a penalty kick. Was that a handball against a Sheffield United player? Of course it will be checked. He seems fairly adamant though. John Egan is the one who I think may be deemed the guilty party. Of course he'll double check this. The ball came in. It's a handball. There's no real argument against it. It's Jack Robinson marking Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Robinson jumps with his hand up in the air. Loftus-Cheek wins the ball, heads towards goal, but it's intercepted by Jack Robinson's hand. It's got to be a penalty all day long. There can be no real complaints. And Alexander Mitrovic, who we just mentioned had a quiet game so far, has an opportunity to put Fulham 1-0 up. Stares down Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale's got a decent record saving penalties. Sheffield United needing to stand up now. Mitrovic, focus on the ball, trying to stop any sort of distractions. Andre Mariner just patrols the edge of the box, looking for encroachment. He's telling John Egan, who looks like he could be the first man out of the blocks if there were to be a save. Mitrovic, hands on hips, short run up from the Serb. One look at the goalkeeper, steps up, and he's fired it well over the crossbar. That was a poor effort, straight down the middle and straight over. Scott Parker can't believe it. It was a poor effort by Mitrovic. You've got to hit the target. We're going to see a replay, but I don't think we want to. It was that bad a penalty. He steps up, I mentioned the short run up, and he just drills it over the bar. May have clipped it on the way over, but still missing the target. And that's a real let-off for Sheffield United. Sheffield United have been the best side in this game against Fulham. It remains goalless, but it should be 1-0 to the Cottagers. Against the run of play, they got a penalty kick. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's header towards goal from a corner was handled by Jack Robinson. Robinson had no complaints. His hand was in the air, intercepting the ball. Alexander Mitrovic, who struggled to get into the game, stepped up, and struck for goal, hitting the crossbar well over the bar. It was real poor effort by the Serb. Aaron Ramsdale went the wrong way, but it didn't matter. As I say, Mitrovic's effort, striking the crossbar, but missing the target. Unforgivable, really, from Mitrovic. It remains 0-0, but it's a good game. Yes, will Fulham live to rue that miss by Mitrovic, who has struggled? He's a very, very good player, isn't he, Mitrovic? But it's funny, Fulham don't really seem to play to his strengths, and he has to take all those chances. But he won't get any better than that, I don't think, today. Fulham on the attack. Kearney, left-footed ball towards Zambo Anguissa. It wasn't a good one. Anguissa's on a yellow card, of course, as well. Sliding tackle, no foul given. Sheffield United on the break. Anthony Robinson tackles Sanderberger from behind. Is it a free kick? I think it is. But now everyone can just have a bit of a pause for breath, catch their breath after what has been a dramatic, well, opening 13 minutes or so of this second half. And, well, it was fun in the first half, and I think we're going to get more fun in this second, I have to say. I still just can't get over Mitrovic's missed penalty kick there. Way over. Oh, well, he did. I was maybe a bit over dramatic earlier on. The way it looked on the TV, on our pictures, it appeared as if he'd totally ballooned it over the bar. It did clip the crossbar, but still failing to hit the target. And Scott Parker will not be impressed at all. Even so, Fulham do have a bit of a possession in their own half, though. Deep in their own half. It's a throw-in to be taken by Anthony Robinson. He's played well so far, the American international. Now Lookman down the left-hand side, trying to dart past 1, 2, 3 red and white shirts. Did well initially, however he had to foul Chris Basham to get the other side of him. And it will be a free kick to Sheffield United. Jack Robinson must be a relieved man, an early substitute, of course, for Max Lowe. Went off with what I think was a concussion. He throws. It's a bit of a mismatch, isn't it? Loftus-Cheek's probably 3 or 4 inches taller than him at least. Got it well, Loftus-Cheek, headed towards goal, and Robinson's hand was up in the air, and Roger Mariner made the right call straight away. That was an interesting effort there by McGoldrick on the point of the box on the right hand side. Went for goal, just span and went for goal with his left foot on the volley. Couldn't find the target. Alphonse Areola was not troubled. Happy to see the ball go wide. Still goalless if you are just joining us, but Sheffield United had a goal disallowed in the first half. Tosin Adebayo putting for his own goal on his debut. However, it was offside. A number of Sheffield United players were offside. It was the right call. And Alexander Mitrovic just missed a penalty kick for Fulham. Both of these sides, of course, without a point in their opening 4 games. Both having lost, coincidentally, to the same teams: Arsenal, Wolves, Leeds and Aston Villa. Fulham always playing their way into a bit of trouble there. Alphonse Areola has to clear his lines. Upcoming games for Sheffield United, well, things don't get much easier. They've got Liverpool next, Manchester City, and then Chelsea. So you do feel this might be a must-win fixture, even so early in the season. Fulham, they've maybe got some winnable games. Crystal Palace, West Brom and West Ham there next 3 heading in towards the November break. But every point's going to count. Will they live to regret that missed penalty kick from Alexander Mitrovic? Still Cardiff leading 1-0 away at Preston in the other game. Also available on this service. And what's a busy day of football in the Premier League. Of course, those 3 other games to come. Crystal Palace against Brighton at 2. It's a 4:30 kickoff. That's Tottenham against West Ham, and 7:15 Leicester against Aston Villa. A Midlands derby. Fulham on the break again. Zambo Anguissa. They've got a 4-on-2 here. Fulham. They need to make it work. Caballero wide right. It's deflected. Oh, his ball wasn't the best. Robinson got back. Good interception by Jack Robinson there, making amends for giving away that penalty. He just seemed to take
Zambo Anguissa, it's developed so quickly. I think there might have been a foul on Oliver Norwood. There's certainly a kick out by the Northern Irishman, but there was 4-on-2. It didn't quite develop as quickly as they would have liked it there, Fulham. And the chance went to Bergen. Good covering back by Robinson there. And to let you know that ahead of that Palace v Brighton game, Gary Cahill's back to skipper the Eagles. One of 4 changes. Brighton, Dan Burn and Adam Lallana come in for Stephen Alzate, Aaron Connolly in there. 2 changes. The A23 derby, of course, rivalry between those 2 clubs. That's going to be a good game. Ball into the box. Adario Bayo gets up. His header's well over the crossbar. I think Mitrovic was complaining he was being fouled there, but referee Andre Mariner not particularly interested. We'll have another look at the penalty. Yeah, it gets it's more obvious as you see it, the penalty instant than we've seen the penalty. It was a short run up. He's leaning back and he rattles the crossbar, but it's not the underside of the crossbar. It's right off the top. And unfortunately for Alexander Mitrovic, he couldn't put the ball in the net. Ryan Brewster's going to come on for Sheffield United, replacing Dave McGoldrick, the record signing, of course. 32-year-old McGoldrick replaced by 20-year-old Brewster, in from Liverpool. A lot of clubs were looking at Ryan Brewster. Can he be the difference? Second change of the game for Sheffield United. Fulham yet to head to their bench as Kearney just tries to drill a ball wide to Ivan Caballero, but it's out and over a throw-in. Brewster, England under-21 international, had a fine record on loan at Swansea last season. Really played a part in their push towards promotion. And he'll be looking to play a part in, unfortunately, what might be a push towards safety for Sheffield United after that fine season last term, finishing 9th on their return to the Premier League. Now, might be a case of the season, or the hard work starts now for the Blades as Baldock intercepts a ball out for a throw-in on the near side. Brewster into Kearney. Mitrovic wins it. Brewster gets his first touch with an interception, and a little 1-2 between Norwood and Lundstrom's opened the play up here for Sheffield United. Lundstrom just can't get it under control, though. He does well, though. He's almost juggling with it as he was running. The Norwood's ball was a bit aimless over the top and through to Alphonse Areola. Areola plays out from the back. I suppose if you want to play out from the back, Areola, they're a few finer with the feet as a goalkeeper than he is. He's got the look of someone who could probably play out if he was given the opportunity. As Zambo Anguissa, who after a slow start's coming to things as the game's gone on. Now Ola Aina, Zambo Anguissa, nice little touch. Caballero skips past one tackle, can't get past the second. McBurney on the halfway line turns. He's got Ryan Brewster. Brewster, wide ball, good one as well. Ender Stevens. There's Berger at the back post. Looking for Brewster was Ender Stevens, though. Well read, though, by Tim Ream. Just stepping up there, the American. Playing out for a throw-in on the far side. I do feel that we're going to get a goal in this game. I wouldn't like to say which way it's going to go at the moment, though. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Independent off-tube studio commentary into the feet of Mitrovic. Now Zambo Anguissa. Again, there's a break. There's a obvious lack of coordination in the Sheffield United midfield at the moment. Lookman's got Robinson. He's got Kearney as well, who continues to run. Tries to feed it across the goal. Why did he not go for goal himself there, Tom Kearney? He looked like the ball was coming across his body, and he looked like he could have put his left foot through it. Gone for goal himself, decided not to. It was a lovely ball by Lookman with the outside of his right foot, finding Kearney. He was looking for Mitrovic at the back post, and it was one of those where, by his demeanour, as soon as he went for the cross, he knew it was the wrong decision, and it was another chance that goes a begging. But both sides are creating chances at the moment. Still to find that crucial goal at Bramall Lane, but it remains a good game. Sheffield United 0, Fulham 0. Sheffield United seem to be doing all the counter-attacking at the moment. That's leaving gaps in their midfield, and Fulham are starting to exploit it. However, chances are a bit thin on the ground. The best one was, well, it should have been a better chance. However, Tom Kearney went to cross the ball rather than going for goal himself. It was a lovely move. Kearney winning the ball, driving forward, finding Adamola Lookman, and with the outside of his right foot, he fed Kearney. But Kearney, like I say, went for the cross, should have gone for goal. He knew it as soon as he did it as well. Still to find that goal, but it is a really entertaining game. 0-0 between Sheffield United and Fulham. As Ola Aina just controls and slows things down into the final quarter of the game now. So it might be a case of a bit of nerves creeping in for the teams. Is there the quality out there? I think there's a quality out there. Is there the belief almost out there? These two sides, of course, without a point so far from their opening 4 games, and as I mentioned, some tough ones coming up for both sides, really. Some tough and important games for both sides. As Tim Ream steps forward for Fulham, maintaining possession. Ola Aina, as I mentioned in the first half, he's so two-footed, can play off both sides, and boy, does he look comfortable on the ball. This time it's his left foot that he switches the play from right back. Now wide. It's Tom Kearney who's found a pocket of space, whips the ball in, headed away by John Egan. Lundstrom trying to track it down, but Kearney's got the better of him, but it does actually come out on Sheffield United's side. McBurney
in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for two teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes into skipper. The Eagles with Jaro Riedeveld, Jeffrey Schlitt, Arthur Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burn and Adon Lallana come in, with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for two teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes into skipper. The Eagles with Jaro Riedeveld, Jeffrey Schlitt, Arthur Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burn and Adon Lallana come in, with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for two teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes into skipper. The Eagles with Jaro Riedeveld, Jeffrey Schlitt, Arthur Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burn and Adon Lallana come in, with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for two teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burton, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that of course are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burton, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that of course are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burton, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that of course are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burton, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that of course are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burton, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that of course are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes in to skipper the Eagles with Jaro Riedewald, Jeffrey Schlitt, Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burn, Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes into skipper. The Eagles with Jaro Riedeveld, Jeffrey Schlitt, Arthur Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein is on the bench, but recent signing Jack Butland is not involved. As for Brighton, it's 2 changes to the team that lost 4-2 against Everton last time out. Dan Burn and Adam Lallana come in with Stephen Alzate and Aaron Connolly missing out. Striker Danny Welbeck did not join in time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from time to feature in the match. So Palace are 13th, 6 points from their first 4. Brighton are 16th, 3 points from their first 4 games. And it promises to be a feisty affair in London. Kick-off fast approaching in the Premier League game between Crystal Palace and Brighton at Selhurst Park. It's a 2 o'clock kick-off for 2 teams that, of course, are well known for their derby match. No love lost between these two, and plenty of changes made as well. Palace make 4 changes to the side that were thrashed 4-0 by Chelsea before the international break. Gary Cahill comes into skipper. The Eagles with Jaro Riedeveld, Jeffrey Schlitt, Arthur Eberechi Eze and Jordan Ayew drop out. New signing Nathaniel Klein